This looks a bit mad. There's a lot of explorations that we do without much of a purpose, and then later they come to be really relevant, as if your mind had a library of ideas and images and things. My role as a designer is to create the image for a brand, and that can be any aspect of it, but it's normally the logo and the identity. I'm always interested in working on things not just by sitting at the computer and looking at the screen. For example, you pick a coat hanger and you start to find a new shape for it. You can form a language. Brands are like frameworks. Something that looks so banal can become a very interesting way of finding solutions for a problem or for a theme. Growing up in Brazil, my dad being an architect, a modernist architect, there was a whole utopian way of seeing the world, and that design could help really make that change. That influenced me a lot. And then when you move from your country, I think you become more aware of your identity in a way, because you have more freedom to be yourself. And you start to incorporate things that you had lost from college times. We are in a moment in history where the planetary crisis is so important. It's essential that that is front of mind. We were trying to create a sense of universe and circularity, and everything is interconnected. Sometimes I find it really magical to create it mechanically without any control. So if you put the pen and move very gently, when I moved to London, I came to study at the Royal College of Art. That really got me into a way of working that is less conventional and less commercial. To me, a good designer is someone who is able to collaborate with others to create a balance of originality and amazing ideas that are relevant. It has to express exactly what that organization needs and not be something you could swap for another client. Trying to create letters made by light, if you like an alphabet. We print the letters on acetate and then we move them around on a retro projector, which is very old school. But at the end of the day, you then go back to merge them all in Photoshop, to animate in After Effects. We just don't start from the same principle. And methods like this we used when we were doing the branding for Tate, and even more when we're doing the branding for Moholy-Nagy. Picture, please. I try to create like a design vision for projects. You might suggest methods of creating something, whether it's working with a light box and dropping ink that then can be photographed and that can become the form of a logo, or creating projections that make a specific typeface. You can also use coding, you can also use motion and animation, but sometimes those methods are very different, and that's what defines the result. Many things keep me inspired. Having children has inspired me a lot. Also, looking at very trivial things and everyday objects. You almost find poetry in very simple things. The more curious you are, the more you look around the world, the more unique your work will be. When I started, I remember I put so much pressure on myself and I got so stressed about being able to resolve things. One of the things I really enjoy today is that with more experience, you can face really challenging projects and still sleep at night, because you know that if you go through a method of really distilling and understanding the problem and bringing the creativity and methods of working and working together, you will find the solution and it will be strong. What I really advise young designers to do is to keep curiosity, keep looking for ideas in unusual places, and not just try to be like anybody else. We all have a story and a history, and from that story we can bring our own identities into the work that we create and make it unique.